I count up so much money lately. I count up so much that they hate me. Yeah, I make niggas mad cause they ain't me. Yeah, I been in my bag going crazy. I count up so much money lately. I count up so much that they hate me. Yeah, I make niggas mad cause they ain't me. Yeah, I been in my bag going crazy. Bitch, I'm not.
First off, fuck your bitch in the clique you claim. West side when we ride, come equipped with game. You claim to be a player, but I fucked your wife. We bust on bad boys, niggas fuck for life. Plus, Puffy tryna see me weak, hearts I rip. Biggie Smalls and Junior Mafia some more. I think a little higher. I think a little higher.
What's up, you got back on the video? It's your boy PJ21. I just want to say, if you're happy you're sad, then my entertainment should bring you joy. And also, welcome back to my channel. On this Friday evening, I just want to say, it's a weekend again. It's for turnip, but not by the looking of this weather that we got. So that we got on here because it's snow and whatnot, but. I just want to say that in the meantime, I'm not gonna let the snow get to us. I'm gonna keep on sending y'all these reactions, and we could watch these reactions together, sit there and have a good time and have a hilarious, funny good time because we shouldn't because laughter heals the soul, and you don't want to be sad, you don't want to be mad, you don't want to be grumpy all the time, you always need a laughter in your heart, right? That's all right. So look, the first thing that we ought to do is that we're about to show y'all because people been having problems with the whole PJ Digital gang merchandise. So look, you once you search the name up once you search the website up on the search engine, you're gonna see this shirt pop up. You're gonna go on the PJ Digital gang store, and then it's gonna refresh, and this will allow you to click on any item that you can, and then once you do that, you're gonna add to the cart, and then go to a little mini shopping bag, and then you'll be able to check out. That's all. That's simple instructions that I could possibly give you because it's not that hard. Son. Seriously, because you can even do it. You can even do this on your phone too. So you just search the website on the search engine, and then once it loads up, you're gonna go on Pizzo Gang Store, and then you're gonna click on that. It's gonna refresh, and then you're gonna click on any item that you want. It could be the shirt, it could be the hoodie, it could be a long sleeve, it could be whatever. And then you add to the cart, you click on the little shopping bag, and then you check out. And then you could also, if you want to use the promo code too, you have to get 2 items for the code to activate, and the code is welcome25. Alright, so the code is only gonna activate if you get 2 items. It's not gonna work with 1 item. So it doesn't work. It doesn't. No, I don't control what Teespring does. That's how they control. That's how they work and whatnot. That's how they function and whatnot. So let's get to our original program. And if it looks like if I'm talking a little too fast, because it is I don't know why, I just do that. I do that sometimes. Seriously, my best. All right, so look, so the next reaction that we got on this Friday evening is most embarrassing moments in the UFC. And UFC is like boxing and kickboxing at the same time. So like you could do anything. You could punch, you could kick, you could like you could do anything. Like seriously, like there's no boxing gloves. It's not like regular boxing. Like it's lethal. Like that ass. Like you could pass out. You could get knocked out. Like that ass. It's a dangerous sport. Like seriously. But we're about to check it out. And let's go. Oh yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, repost and share to all social media platforms, and also don't forget to hit the notification bell for future videos. And also, I'm gonna say it at the end, and let's check it out. Yeah, all right.
Welcome back to Fight Focus, and for today's video, we will be covering the UFC's most embarrassing moments. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and comment what video you want to see next. Let's get to it.
I don't even have to see that. Like this part right here, like it's blurry, but you can see like that this guy right here is bloodied up. Like that is. I mean, both of them are bloody up, but this guy is bloodied up. And like that is. If you're tan, you can see when somebody's like bloody up. Like they're filled with all blood. And like then like that like I would not want to be in a UFC match. Like that is.
Please make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and comment what video you want to see next. Let's get to it. Just like any other sport, MMA has its awkward moments. The athletic ability required to be a mixed martial artist is immense. However, linguistic skills are not mandatory, and that is an area in which many fighters are severely lacking. The embarrassing scenarios can arise in many more places than just post-fight interviews, as you will find out. Let's get started, shall we? First up, we have Justine Kish. In the midst of fighting off a choke by Felice Herrig at UFC Fight Night 112, disaster struck for Justine as she kind of, let it go, leaving easy.
I never understood like why like women like have to like keep their hair like braided. Like yeah, for like the female fighters in UFC, like why they have to like keep their hair braided? Like maybe like they can't keep it like a ponytail. Like maybe it's just different and better with braided, I guess. So that's why they do it.
Easily visible brown stains on the octagon mat. Believe it or not, neither fighter seemed to take notice at the time, and the fight continued to a decision. At which point, Kish looked down in horror at the mat. When she wanted to flee for the nearest exit, out of sportsmanship, Kish stayed on until after the decision was announced.
She had to go take a shit? Wait, there was brown stains? Yo, she had to go take a mean. Alright.
Which she said felt like an eternity, given her predicament, before finally leaving the octagon. However, despite her nightmare situation, Kish showed a sense of humor afterwards on social media and said, "I'm a warrior and I'll never quit. Shit happens. Haha, be back soon."
I mean, you could pause the game. I would pause the match and like say I have to go use the bathroom, something like that. So you could you could pause the match like that. And like if you're fighting, son, like you gotta go use the bathroom like that. And go pause the match, son, because like you don't want to have no brown stains. Nobody wants to fight with you and no shitty like that. Like that's nasty like that. Ew.
Next up, Dennis Holman.
Brawler, it's time!
I would be most embarrassed at that. So like that. Let me see more embarrassing moments.
Holman stepped in the octagon at UFC 133 wearing a disturbingly small blue Speedos. It wasn't the result of a fashion choice on the UFC fighter's behalf. Holman told Ariel Helwani afterwards that he lost a bet, and losing the bet meant they had to go wear some Speedos. As embarrassing as this was for Holman, it also left him able to only fit 2 sponsors on the small amount of fabric on the Speedos, costing him a lot of money. However, it got even worse for Holman when during the fight he suffered a wardrobe malfunction in the midst of a grappling exchange that led to his balls being exposed on live TV. To add to his woes, Dana White was fuming about Holman's attire, stating afterwards that he was horrified and disgusted. By the side of the Speedo,
so he lost a bet, so like that's why he had to wear the Speedos like in his match. Yo, he should just tried out for WWE or WFC or like those TNT type of shit, because like yo, you lost a bet, like nigga, like just cancel it. So like I'm not fighting you in Speedos, and like no, I'm not doing. I don't care if I lost a bet. I'm not fighting you in Speedos.
And banned everybody from the following suit in the future. He also revealed that he had given Brian Ebersol $70,000 thank you for getting the shorts out the hell off TV bonus, after he completed Holman's humiliation by KOing him later in the first round. Next up, Roosevelt Polaris.
That's a big niggas. Like that's why is he it? What? Yo, I just looked at the chest and I moved up and I'm looking at his ears. Like, why is it swollen like that? Like, can he hear? Is he deaf?
After handing Dan Miller a vicious ground and pound beatdown at UFC 134, Roosevelt Polaris got up and celebrated his victory with ferocious intensity, raising his hands aloft and then jumping up onto the octagon cage to roar out the crowd in triumph. There was only one problem. At no point had referee Herb Dean given any indication the fight was actually over. With Miller now on his feet ready to continue, Polaris seemed bemused, but had to get back to the business at hand, with the fight resuming and Miller proving he was by no means done as he dropped Aquino soon afterwards, before ultimately losing out by decision. Dana White said that is fucking crazy. I never seen anything like this before. Dana White remarked afterwards in no way, shape, or form did Herb Dean stop that fight or even come close. He didn't even make a move toward them to stop that fight. Next up, Charles Oliveira.
That's what you call a show up. Like, that's what you call a nigga that just thinks he won, but he didn't really win. Like, the fight is not even over. So what are you doing? Like, you think you won, but you didn't. So.
Charles Oliveira has a unique way of dealing with getting hit in the groin. It's always an unfortunate and difficult thing to watch when a fighter gets hit in the groin. It just makes you wince. You don't really like to see it. It's not unusual for a fighter to jump around a bit and do a little bit of rubbing after being struck with a low blow. However, it is rather unusual for a fighter to stick their hands down their pants after suffering a low blow, as many of the fans watched Charles doing this. We probably didn't really need to see that, Charles, but we did anyway. It was the most embarrassing moment not only for Charles, but also for the fans. Probably a lot of them were laughing after seeing this on live TV.
Nah, I can relate though, because like nigga, that shit hurt. Like that isn't like after you get kicked like that, after you get kicked like that, it'd be like, yo, am I even gonna have kids anymore? Like that isn't like the amount of times that you get kicked in that area. So am I even gonna have kids anymore? So, like seriously, like that thing hurt. Like that has a. And they used to play that. They used to play like a game called Bangkok. I don't know if they still playing that game, Bangkok. Like and I think it was like middle school or high school, something like where they would just punch the area and then like just be like it's a game, son. And I would play that thing too, and then like nah, son, no, it hurt. I'm not doing that game ever again, son.
What happened next was even more embarrassing. With that same hand without even washing. I doubt Esquerdo was pleased with the idea of being punched by a hand that was just in someone's shorts. Next up, Chuck Liddell. In his UFC heyday, Chuck Liddell took full advantage of being one of the biggest sports stars and was known to party like a rock star. However, that appeared to catch up with him during an infamously cringeworthy interview on the Good Morning Texas show back in 2007 when Liddell was so incoherent that people immediately.
I think I recognize Chuck from I think a TV show or movie. I think he had to be in like one or the other. Like I remember him because I remember like the face and like I think the mohawk too.
Began to suspect he might be either taking drugs or drunk. The show's host began to show concern for how Liddell was acting, asking him if he was okay at one stage as he repeatedly mumbled and slurred his words and even appeared to momentarily fall asleep at one point. The appearance was hugely embarrassing for Liddell, who claimed later he'd overtaken sleep medication, and the UFC, who pulled him for all his other scheduled promotional interviews to avoid any more PR disasters. Next up, Gray Maynard. Getting a knockout via a powerful slam is something that any fighter would love to have on the highlight reel. And Gray Maynard did just that when he hoisted Rob Emerson into the air and brought him back down to earth with a thump at the Ultimate Fighter 5 finale, rendering him unconscious. There was a catch though. In the process, Maynard managed to knock himself out too as he faceplanted onto the mat. To make matters worse, Maynard apparently didn't realize what had happened and reacted furiously when a no contest ruling was declared afterwards, insisting he was an out. That led to Joe Rogan making him watch footage of his embarrassing blunder on the arena big screen multiple times during his post-fight interview.
Yeah, that was before Joe Rogan had hair, so like this is like now that nigga balls, like seriously. But I know he can still be mine, so I'm good.
To prove that he was in fact KO'd. Despite his denials, the replay clearly showed Maynard was in a dazed stupor after the slam, eventually rolling off Emerson and laying with his eyes rolling back up into his head, before he then woozily tried to get to his knees and fell back onto the mat when he attempted to stand. Next up, Caleb Starnes. Of all the fights that have taken place in the octagon, there's never been one more embarrassing than the time that Starnes decided to continuously backpedal around the edge of the octagon for 15 minutes against Nate Quarry. The fight left Quarry so bemused that he began hamming it up, pretending to run after Starnes and doing robotic attacks. Much to the amusement of the equally perplexed fans watching his opponent effectively commit career suicide in the cage. Starnes, who mustered a total of 12 strikes during the whole fight, was fired from the UFC afterwards and became a figure of ridicule for fans, who nicknamed him the Running Man. White said he just doesn't belong in the UFC, and after his performance the other night, he should consider a new line of work. Next.
You can't be great at everything. Nobody is. What you can do is get help from someone with experience. Someone like
You should do boxing like that ass and like because I remember that the fight with Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor, like That's all Floyd did. Like he just like ran like with Connor like in circles like across like the across the ring and shit. And like he just made like Connor like tired. So like and then he still won the match like that's so that he should just do boxing.
Next up, Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva's confidence was running high when he stepped in the octagon to fight Chris Weidman for the first time in UFC 162 in 2013. After all that time, he was long-reigning middleweight champion with no less than 10 successful title defenses. Had never been beaten, the UFC was considered by some to be the greatest mixed martial artist of all time. The longer his reign lasted, the more confident and some might even say cocky the Brazilian legend became. And that had produced some priceless moments in the octagon where he would drop his hands, let his opponents take free swings at him, and somehow still managed to avoid the incoming punches, leading Joe Rogan to exclaim on one occasion that Silva was moving inside the Matrix. However, if you live by the sword, you die by the sword. And when Chris Weidman...
The fuck? Wait, so that nigga just hit that nigga with one punch and was just dodging? Yo, that's good. Son.
went up against him, he showed no respect for Silva's showboating antics. As such, when Silva dropped his hand, stuck out his chin, and mocked the attempts to hit him, even pretending to be hurt in a comical fashion, he just kept on punching until he did finally manage to connect clean to the champion's chin, knocking him out cold in humiliating fashion. Next up, Max Holloway. UFC featherweight champion Max Holloway had a challenging weight cut prior to UFC 218 last year that left him to strip down to his birthday suit in order to make the featherweight limit. Standing in front of the assembled media, towels were brought out to protect Blessed's modesty as he stood onto the scale. But things didn't go quite according to plan. Unfortunately for Holloway, one of the two men holding the towel for him, fellow fighter Justine Kish, decided to flip the towel as he stood there, which mistakenly resulted in his man parts being left exposed to the waiting cameras. Holloway quickly covered up, and Justin laughed off his blunder. But later, Blessed accidentally also exposed his bare butt as he tried to put his shorts back on again.
Yo.
Next up, Dave.
Those aren't your niggas. Like those are not your niggas. Like they did you dirty. Son.
David Kaplan. Dave Kaplan asked Tom Lauder to punch him and gets knocked out. Some men just don't know their limits. After excessively bragging about how he couldn't be knocked out, Dave Kaplan begs the Ultimate Fighter teammate Tom Lawler to punch him in the face. Lawler, on the other hand, took a really awkward at the start, but then thought that no one could ever get a chance to hit both the rival and his bragging at the same time. Tom, who fights 3 weight classes above Dave, reluctantly agreed and then punched Kaplan completely unconscious. It was something that Dave wasn't expecting, so brutal and hard. Probably he thought he would dodge the punch but ended the opposite. It was a pretty funny thing to watch for the viewers at home. But no doubt it was an uncomfortable experience for Lawler. The funniest part was after regaining consciousness, Dave tried to say that he didn't get knocked out, but it was too late, mate. Next up, Gina Carano. This is
my girl. Yo, what happened to Gina Carano? Son? Yo, tell me because I heard the news, I heard rumors, but yo, we finally gonna get to know like what happened. Son. Yo, she bad. Son. I'm sorry, Gina Carano. When I first saw Gina Carano, I think it was either Deadpool or it was Fast and Furious. I think Fast and Furious 5 came first, or if it was 6. Cause I forgot when. Hold on, when did Deadpool come? Because hold on, I think it was Deadpool that I saw her in, and I was like, "Yo, she bad, son." Like seriously, and I'm like, "Yo, that can't be somebody, son. That can't be her, son." Like seriously, who else is that? Like seriously, and I'm like, "Yo, what's her name, son?" And then I finally got her name, and then like I'm hearing like all these like news and rumors talking about like something leaked about her, and I'm like, what leaked? So am I gonna know? Like that's hold up, nah. Was it 5 or 6? Let's see, I'm trying to know. I think it was Fast and Furious that I saw her in. And this thing wants to play around me. Yeah, it was 6. I did. Yeah, so yeah, it was Fast and Furious that I first saw Gina Carano in. Like that's like, but it was also Deadpool that I saw more of her. Yo, I can't even talk right now. So.
isn't a case of a fighter doing anything awkward, but a subject.
I didn't even know she was a fighter. So like, what? Yo, the only fighter that I know that's doing like TV and TV shows and movies now is Ronda Rousey. Like that's it. Like cause like she did bad and her boxing career. So now she like opening up to like movies and TV shows, and she's not even doing that good.
Subject to an embarrassing interview in the form of Wei Ting. Apart from being generally unprofessional reading questions off his BlackBerry, Ting also makes his interview.
Like, just look at her, son. Like, she got a nice smile, son. Like, she know how to dress. Like, she got that whole bad she got that whole like independent like bad um appearance. I'm acting like a sim right now, but like just to play the video.
Interview very embarrassing and uncomfortable by asking a series of inappropriate questions. Here's some samples of Wei's journalistic dynamite. Do you get hit on more or less now that you're famous? Do you wear makeup when you fight? Who do you think is the ugliest MMA fighter? Carano does her best to stay composed and answer the questions carefully, but it doesn't stop the interview from being more uncomfortable to watch. Also, the interview is extremely detrimental of the growth of women's MMA, given that all the questions center around gender and appearance. It would be hard for someone unfamiliar with women's MMA to take it seriously if they were to see only this interview. Next up, Bill Superfoot Wallace. At the first ever event all the way back in 1993,
So she got like uncomfortable questions asked, and then that's it. I was like more interested in that.
former kickboxing star Bill
Not bad,
Superfoot
though.
Wallace served
Like
as the
that.
lead commentator and delivered some of the most cringe-inducing moments in sportscasting history. From start to finish, Wallace's commentary could qualify as one long embarrassing moment in which he repeatedly showed his ability to put his superfoot in his mouth, but none more so than during his opening monologue. In the space of just a few seconds, Wallace managed to get the UFC's name wrong twice, calling it the Ultimate Fighting Challenge instead of Ultimate Fighting Championship, and burped in the middle of saying the name of the arena the event was taking place in. As the event went on, Wallace would go on and pronounce virtually everybody's name wrong, including Royce Gracie, Roy, interpretations of Gerard Gordeau, and Taylor Tooley's names. While he even bungled the names of his own broadcasting reporters, including failing to ever correctly call Rich Goins by his name, of opting to with a Rod and Ron instead. He also invented new words like discombobulates and gave fascinating insights such as pain hurts, and that the fights were taking place in an octagonal octagon. Next up, Damian Maia. Damian Maia kisses Nate Corey. This is just a case of an unfortunate timing. Nate Corey and Damian Maia hug after their fight in a mutual show of respect. But what happened is Maia attempts to kiss Corey on the cheek, but just as he's doing that, Corey turns his head and boom.
Oh.
It was not that type of kiss, but an activity that can be called as a kiss. The end result is two men kissing on.
Y'all took the whole bromance thing a little too much in. Like, what did Don't Be a Menace like T-Shaw saying? Too much love, thank you. Like, seriously. Yeah, because like with that whole like what they do in baseball, where they smack like each other behinds and whatnot. Like, no, so, like y'all can't even do that. Like y'all not about to kiss each other on live camera, son. Like, nah, son. Like, that's too much love. Son. Like, seriously.
Lips, and Nate quickly walks away, seemingly embarrassed by this act. Alright MMA fans, thank you so much for sticking around to the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, make sure to hit the notification bell, and don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Also, don't forget to comment below what video you want to see next.
Alright, y'all. So let me know in the comment section what you guys think about the most embarrassing moments in the UFC. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, post, share to all media platforms. Y'all let me know like which most embarrassing moment in the UFC it was yours. I think I would like the most embarrassing one was when he was going to go see like what weight he was, and like his niggas just did him dirty, and like they showed his private parts and whatnot. Like that had to be the most embarrassing moment for me. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, post, share to all media platforms, and also don't forget to hit the notification bell for future videos. Also, get the merch at teespring.com/PJ Gang, and also it's your boy PJ21 signing off, and we are PJ Gang.
Like what? Bitches,